Ukraine's terrain scurrying for cover. This terrifying situation is taking place on the front lines. When our crews were integrated with the Ukrainian artillery regiment, they came under Russian fire. As Russian troops opened fire on their vehicle, soldiers and our crew were forced to evacuate. This report comes from Melissa Bell. You'll discover this first. Out front aiming at a specified target, the artillery fire of Ukraine. Nothing about this conflict is hidden from Austria. Not even the Russians entering this home from a distance of 8 kilometers. The target that a Ukrainian missed. We're now talking about them as they attempt to advance the Zaporizhzhia front line. Now, the gunners must wait for more accurate coordinates from the surveillance drone from last year, along with eye contact with the Kremlin's rear home pilot. And they are the ones who have multiple channels with a robot boy and an upbeat Nazi. However, Odessa orders his soldiers to lower their weapons till then so that they are between artillery and drones. There is no room for error. They have been using drones to guide them as they have been aiming towards a structure across from them that houses Russian soldiers and Russian artillery. Third shot is ready to be fired, and they claim that in reaction, we should prepare for the arrival of Russian artillery. This time, not only the structure but also Russian ammunition and artillery have been struck, necessitating a prompt response and the need to leave as soon as possible. The response comes quickly. Are we that? That's setting up that idiotic or alleged boy UK and I, right? They are moving there because of me. Yes, well, yeah. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We now had to drive away as swiftly as we can since, as anticipated, the incoming artillery followed. However, they clarify that it's not only the approaching artillery. Drones are among the most hazardous aspects of driving in this area. Odessa, who is sitting in the pickup truck's rear, can hear and see the approaching flames. Move forth with vigor. He advises us to go forward quickly due to the approaching artillery. Well, in all, 9 artillery rounds were fired back. An evaluation of Russian rage. And now, for these Ukrainian success troops, this was the most important of all, and it required foreigners to respond to these gunfire. Additionally, it's another task that, at least for the time being, is similar to the thrill of survival. Aaron, this week the Ukrainians have been executing an intriguing new strategy that has a lot to do with Crimea, a series of some of the most ambitious cruise missile attacks and other forms of attacks that we have seen on the Crimean Peninsula since this war began. They have also continued to try to advance that line, both along that gap, reach a part in the south, and reach a part in the east. All of this is a part of what Ukraine now blatantly refers to as its occupation strategy and serves as a reminder that this is how it intends for the conflict to end, exactly where it started in 2014. Aaron. Okay, Melissa, I appreciate your help, and I'm so happy you're in Kiev tonight. And then I went back to Kiev. I'm grateful. Additionally, frequent Outfront contributor Andrei Soldatov, a Russian journalist who is now prohibited in his native country, has provided some fresh material. So that's all. In order to find spies and intelligence sources, the Kremlin is attempting to exploit churches in the United States. Take a look at this FBI memo alerting Russian Orthodox churches that they may become targets for recruitment by Russian intelligence agencies and that they may be, quote, blackmailed into taking part in intelligence activities. Andre, meantime, has joined me. Since you usually reside across the Atlantic, it is especially pleasant to finally meet you in person after all the times you have done so in your reporting throughout this war. So, according to recent information, Russian intelligence agencies are attempting to infiltrate American churches. What did you discover? The most significant aspect of this story, in my opinion, is not only that the Russian security and intelligence services were able to use a church, but also that the church appears to be quite happy to be used, not only by giving Russian spies and military personnel, for example, ideological ammunition, which is hardly news, but also in a very direct manner because, as far as we are aware, a special memorandum was put together by church officials in 2009 as well. And in this memorandum, it is completely evident that the church tried to create certain rules of cooperation with the Russian security services, including the aid in and provides an operation of support which is a direct help to spies. So, all right, so how extensive is this network? I mean, how broad-reaching could this be? The Russian Orthodox Church is well represented in the United States and is really expanding, thus it has a large network. More and more individuals believe that the Russian Orthodox Church's attractiveness comes from its emphasis on traditional and family values, which serves as a lure for Native Americans to start attending its services and becoming converts. All right, as a result, you have written extensively on the oligarchs in Putin's inner circle. A well-known Russian billionaire and oligarch received public condemnation from Putin. The businessman now claims that he is, quote, completely opposed to Russia's heinous invasion of Ukraine and that Putin has already retaliated. Right, so we responded, said, that this person who's a technology company leader is obliged to make statements in order to save his own businesses and assets. He had been sitting quietly before. Godspeed, sir. We are not bothered by it. There are two issues with this one. Putin certainly depends on the oligarchs a lot and he yet manages to keep them under control and silent. Despite all of this conflict, what is Putin's current position with regard to such group? Actually, he is still making an effort. Additionally, he exerts strong control over his subjects. He is excellent at promoting a message of dissent and terror. You claim that. He also made a comment against Anatoly Schweizer, a former ally who was the originator and creator of the Russian privatization initiative in the 1980s. Tobias also fled the country, and Putin questioned him about your suggestions. In response, Putin replied, "Look, Tobias used to run state-owned corporations. We discovered some issues with this company. Although we haven't filed any criminal charges against this man yet, we may do so in the future. We may also threaten him with legal action." If you loved the video, please hit a like button and don't forget to subscribe the channel.